We got cause to celebrate today.
Oh, boy.
This cowbell kind of sucks.
I know.
There we go.
There we go.
It was stuck.
It was just
Yes.
stuck. It was just stuck. Why are we celebrating today, Kayla?
Well,
With the Sacramento Kings 113 to 111 loss last night, their record fell to 12-37. Ladies and gentlemen, that is tied for the with the New Orleans Pelicans for the worst record in the NBA, the
boy.
best draft lottery odds. Yeah!
way to go, Kings.
Front of the line. Oh, yeah.
Still not guaranteed that first,
Yeah, no.
but, you know.
But
Hey.
guaranteed top 5.
We are the worst, kind of with Pelicans. We are the worst, kind of with the Pelicans. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it?
No.
But
with tiebreakers that don't matter right now, we are the worst.
and the Pelicans don't want to be the worst. They just happen to be the worst because they don't have their draft pick this season. The Atlanta Hawks are very much rooting for the New Orleans Pelicans to be the worst.
Oh, yeah.
So the Kings are the ones, they're the worst and they want to be.
Exactly.
Yay!
We own that category.
We suck enough.
Yes.
Ethical tanking.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I'm happy about it, but I'm not happy about it. And there's no guarantees of anything. Again, the way the lottery system works, and the NBA did this to try and fix tanking, which I don't know if it has or hasn't, but it's the worst 3 teams in the league have equal odds at the number 1 overall pick, which is a whopping 14% chance, ladies and gentlemen. 14%.
Not even 15. 14.
Yeah,
Trying to make it
1-7.
14, man.
Yeah, we love 14%.
All right.
But the big deal is, in addition to the 14% chance, they have a 52.1% chance. So over a majority or over a likelihood that, or slightly over a likelihood that they will be in the top 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's more like it.
Yes, whatever.
And a 100% chance they will be in the top 5.
Okay, I like 100.
The top
That's a good
5.
number.
Hey. Of course, there's a ton of season left to be played, and what's spooky is you look at the Kings' schedule towards the end of the year, and you're like, oh, I can see them winning a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Especially if Russell Westbrook is playing still and he decides,
thank you.
F your draft pick, I'm Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Which might honestly help your chances of losing games, because sometimes Russ goes, I'm taking over, and we're like, yeah!
And we're like, good, you're going to turn
Russell
the ball over
Westbrook!
18 times and miss your shots. Okay.
25 shots on your poster giveaway day.
Yay!
There we go.
We love you, Russ. Thanks for doing it for us. Here's your
Russ.
video tribute package as you get us Peterson. It's
Get us your replacement.
yeah.
Exactly.
Play for your replacement, bud. This is, I mean, I know it's a joke, but it's also kind of a fair argument. Like, look, like, do the Kings really need to trade these veterans away? Because they're doing a pretty darn good job of tanking with these guys right now. The answer is still yes, because in addition to the Kings losing basketball games, I would like them to lose while also having something that I'm a little more hopeful for or optimistic for the future. I would love to see them lose, but see what Jonathan Kuminga looks like taking 20 shots. I'd love to see them lose and see what RJ Barrett looks like back with Scott Perry. It doesn't sound like either of those trades are going to happen.
Right. But in our minds, we think it'd be fun.
You know what I mean, though. It's like, what can you get? Or if it's as simple as, like, getting a DeMar DeRozan or Zach LaVine, which isn't happening, but one of these guys out of there so that frees up the rotation to get other looks at other guys. Like, it just gives me something different to look at for the second half of this season.
And I understand the Kings fans out there probably feel the same way. They don't want to continue looking at the same type of Kings team every single night because we still have plenty more games to go. And if it doesn't happen in terms of anybody being traded away, and even if Keon Ellis, who we'll talk about in a minute, I know, is going to get traded away, it still doesn't really change what we're going to see out on the floor, at least unless Doug drastically does something different, which I don't foresee him doing if the veterans are still here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would be nice if even one little move was made to see one body here that was new or just a younger lineup in general. You're still going to lose games because this team is not good, and there's always an injury that happens on this team that allows one person to come back and then the other person to go. That's been the trend.
Whitey Gleason gave us a not-so-fun note, though, our own Whitey Gleason. You can hear him on The Drive Guys with Alan Stiles. They have another very short show today, but they are doing Game Day tonight. They're hosting Game Day before the show, before the Kings broadcast starts. So tune in for that, starting at 2 o'clock today. We'll have them join us for the crossover at 1:45. But from Whitey Gleason, since the NBA lottery odds were flattened back in 2019, The team with the worst record has ended up with the first pick a total of 0 times. Which means, Kayla Anderson, that is due to happen. Hey! Odds are in our favor.
All right. Odds, but the wrong odds.
Hey, law of averages, right? Now's the time.
They're literally not. It's still 14% no matter what.
Okay.
But hey, you got to play the mathematical chances, right?
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
I mean, well, you know what? Screw you, Whitey Gleason. And screw you, odds, and screw you what's actually happened, because we have this thing called Tankathon.
Oh, let's do it.
And Tankathon's not going to let us down. Tankathon, we're going to do our Tankathon now with the Kings and the New Orleans Pelicans again tied for the number 1 worst record in the NBA. It doesn't matter. As long as the Kings are top 3, that's where they want to be. But let's sim the lottery. And
Can't be worse than 5.
well, I mean, it's fine. The Kings dropped 2 spots to 3, so they're top 3. Hey,
The good boozer.
either Boozer or AJ, maybe Wilson if you like him. What I don't like about this, and this is becoming a trend and it's pissing me off, and I think Tankathon is doing this intentionally. The Indiana Pacers win the draft, which, can you imagine, they were in the finals last year, and then Tyrese Halliburton went down. They win the draft, so they get Peterson and Tyrese Halliburton, or whoever they want. If they want AJ, they want Cam Boozer might make sense for them. I don't know what number 1 overall, but he's the most NBA-ready prospect. You plug him right in, Indiana's fine. But Dallas moves up 6 spots to 2.
Oh my gosh. Why is Dallas always in
That's
the
what I'm
mix?
saying.
Why?
That's what I'm saying.
Why?
Because they traded Luka.
Yeah.
Okay, so they should be getting
Conspiracies.
punished.
Yeah, no, Nico sold his soul to the literal devil
might have.
to make sure the Dallas Mavericks, I guess, just have draft lottery luck.
Because every time we do this, at least on this show,
It's been
the
Dallas.
freaking Dallas Mavericks are in like the top 2.
Yep.
Every single time.
Yep. Obviously, we're being very over the top here.
I
This is
know.
not a position that we expected
I
the
know.
Sacramento Kings to be at all coming into this season. But like we've talked about, Kayla, it might really just be something that needed to happen, not just to hopefully get the Kings a star, get the Kings a Peterson, an AJ, a Boozer, a Wilson, whoever, Kingston Fleming, whoever it is.
Yeah.
Get the star that they wanted to start the rebuild process, start the true end of De'Aaron Fox era in Sacramento. We just delayed it by a year with the terrible Zach LaVine trade. Start that process, but also show ownership, Perry, Doug, the fan base, the world, anybody who doubted that this team wasn't terrible. It's totally obvious that they're terrible, so thank God now you have to fix it. It is very clearly broke, so fix it.
It's very broke. It's one of the most mismatched rosters in terms of what you put out on the floor that we've seen in a while, because there are undoubtedly, great, talented players here. And there are some young players that have bright futures, but the way that it just works out on any given night, no matter what the lineups are or what the match, it looks bad most of the time. And so I think for Scott Perry, it's the best case scenario, because look, for Doug Christie, it's a little bit difficult because he is really getting, looked at on wins and losses. He'll have another year or 2 here, no doubt about that. But for Scott Perry, this is organically happening. And he can then go and get his guy, hopefully top 3, top 2, and then build around it. And that's, I feel like, what he truly wants to do, instead of taking the shortcut, which we know he doesn't want to do, and bringing in a guy like John Morant or bringing in, one of these guys, LaMelo Ball or whatever. Yep. That's not really what Scott Perry wants to be known as when he's building from the top up.
Yeah,
the bottom up.
You got to start from the bottom.
Yeah.
You got to
started from the bottom.
No, yeah, shout out Drake. You got to start from the bottom. You get what we talked about. The analogy we've used is you got to rebuild the foundation, but before you can get to the foundation, you got to tear down the old house that's built upon the foundation, and that's what. Yeah. We're still in the demolition phase.
We are.
And right now, Perry's having a hard time demolishing.
It's like those jackhammers when you're trying to get into the old cement.
He can't get the tools. Nobody wants what the Kings have, except for Keon Ellis, who has been playing well. Yeah. Keon Ellis had a good game last night. 10 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from three-point range, a steal and a block. He was plus 10 in just under 20 minutes of action. So good on Keon Ellis. If we're being nitpicky about anything with Keon, he got some opportunity to guard Tyrese Maxey and didn't exactly slow him down. Nobody did. So it's not like, that's a bad Keon Ellis thing. But in theory, that's what Keon's superpower is supposed to be, is I can put you on the opposing team's best guard and you can at least make their life more difficult. And maybe he did. Tyrese Maxey was just like, I don't care, I'm scoring for
And he was on it. Tyrese Maxey's a good player, but last night too, he was just going off, right? It's like he could not be stopped last night. So I did like the overall. It looked really different from what I think I've seen from Keon the 2 previous games. I think he looked a lot more on in terms of his offense, but defensively there's little things to work on. But overall, I thought it was a good showing for him at least, who's showcasing to supposedly 10 teams right now.
Kyle, can we go to break one more time with Kool and the Gang in celebration? Let's really soak in this moment. Again, if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, stop what you're doing. Take your hands off the steering wheel, unless you're driving. Don't do that. And a little round of applause, everybody. The Sacramento Kings have the worst record in the draft lottery, best draft lottery odds in the NBA. How about that?
Which are also the same if they would have been 2 or 3.
Doesn't matter. Hey, just secure those best odds as possible, even though mathematically it's still a tough hill to climb for them to get that number 1 overall pick. But we don't care about that part. We care about tanking. The tank is alive and well.
Love the tank.
And so is the Matt and Kayla show, because we got Q and K for you when we come back after the break. It's Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports.